Good morning, everybody, and thanks so much for joining us on the Morning Brunch. I'm Sheridan Hertig.
And I'm Renee Skinner. I'm sorry, my mood matches the weather.
I'm Nathan Getchens. Welcome.
It has a lovely effect on us.
Yes.
But anyways, here's what's on the menu for today's brunch. First, we're taking a look at our favorite stories from the day.
Then we'll take a look at the top movies in the theater.
And also give a look at that ugly weather in our last bite.
If you must.
If you must.
Hey, when we came, at least when I got back from my break, it had stopped raining.
It
Yeah,
did. I could
so
watch my dog walk my dog.
It's going to be in the 70s in a couple hours, so
Right.
that's exciting.
I will take that. All right, on my plate today, Connect Transit in Normal held one of 3 public engagement sessions to inform the community about their new contactless fare collection system yesterday. The switch to contactless will be happening this summer. It'll feature an entire new system, including a tap-to-pay reader instead of the classic card reader. A new payment app and Connect Ride cards will be launched alongside the new system. But if you still prefer to use cash, Connect Transit's Deputy Managing Director says that will remain an option with some limitations. 2 other sessions to hear more about it will be held later today at the YWCA in Bloomington and March 12th at the Bloomington Public Library. Now, the reason this was on my story today is actually we were airing this early on the morning show, and I was talking to Renee and saying, actually, this is something that's very common in other countries. So it's cool to see that it's finally being implemented in Central Illinois, and hopefully, you know, they're able to get that up and running soon. I think it's spring, or maybe the summer. They said it should be completely fully ready. But the ease of access I had when I was in Italy on my honeymoon, to just be able to go on my phone, like do my little Apple Pay, and be good, because I could just do the tap to pay, was really, really nice. I mean, I had worries of being in another country and getting around, and I could go on any bus, tap to pay, and it was like less than $1 for each ride.
Yeah.
So it was really, really cheap. It was really easy and simple. So for anybody who's also not from the Bloomington area, if they come in and they use the transit system, this makes it a lot easier for them too. They don't have to worry about getting a card. They don't have to worry about pulling out cash, because not many people carry cash nowadays.
Yeah.
So this just makes traveling so much easier, especially if you're in the area for like a new job and you're trying to figure out how to get around. Just ease of access is fantastic.
Yeah, I love that. A lot of people don't carry cash around anymore, and I'm guilty of that too. So to have an easier way to make it more convenient for people, I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was just going to say, I mean, we have the tap machine on our vending machine. So if that's the case, then we should definitely be able to use that same system when it comes to, you know, riding a bus around town. And I just remember when I took my parents to the French Quarter when I lived in Louisiana, that we parked, but like you had to download an app. And then in the app, you had to like pay, you know, how many couple of dollars an hour. Then you had to make sure your card was attached to your account. And it was just all these things. It was a whole process. So anytime you can streamline, you know, instance where you have to pay, the easier, the better.
Yeah,
so, yeah.
Absolutely. I don't want to take time to even get my wallet out.
Yeah, I agree. Totally. Can I see the prompter, dear?
Yeah.
I just threw this in, so I'm gonna have to ad-lib a little bit through it. That's why I need the switch. Let's see if I can do this. Well, it's almost that time of year again, with much of the nation gearing up for the great time change that comes with daylight saving time this Sunday. But sleep researchers and psychologists are issuing red flags, citing the potential health and financial consequences that can come with giving up an hour of sleep and altering our rest patterns. And as most Americans prepare to move the clocks up an hour this Sunday, sleep researchers and psychologists warn this action can pose a number of health risks like heart attack, stroke, traffic accidents, mood disturbances, higher risk of suicide, all related to sleep deprivation. Experts say this time change can impact people differently. Older adults tend to have higher rates of infectious diseases and perhaps more physiological vulnerability than other populations. School children, for sleep, it's vital for them to get it. It's important for their mood and their cognitive functioning, so it's very important for them. And, fatigue from lack of sleep can also contribute to economic harms. People aren't being productive at work. They're having to skip out on work because of their health. So, it just sparks the conversation. Do we really need daylight saving time? And my answer is no.
Absolutely not.
No, we don't. So that's why this story stuck out to me. I just noticed, little things tend to affect my mood, like whether or not I get sunshine every day, whether or not I get that hour hour of sleep I need, or, you know, stuff like that. That tends to affect my mood deeply. So, I mean, any sleep disturbance I have, it's just, I feel for you guys, because Monday I may not be so happy. That's why I'm warning you.
I was like, we're dealing with the same
Yeah,
with you.
I know, but I may be an extra cranky pants.
We're dealing
She's
with
on a
you.
different time
That's the
zone.
issue.
Yeah.
No. I was going to say also at this time of year, there's an increase in heart attacks. There's an increase, like you said, but there's also an increase in car accidents.
Yeah.
Because people are so tired that they're not paying attention to the road and they either drift off, which I get, but for me, there's that thought of, okay, why don't you just kind of sleep in until you can't sleep in anymore and wake up and just go about your day the regular way? But I guess it has a whole, you know, it messes with your circadian rhythm and all that. So that's just crazy to me that something like so small as an hour can really mess with you physically, mentally, and all that stuff. So I don't know, that's scary. And it's something that they've talked about putting through Congress and the House and everything to figure out if we should have daylight saving time or not, because of all the risks that come with it. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's hard. You know, we get to work in the middle of the night basically, so it's always dark. But for like people who get up at the normal time of day to go to work, you know, they're kind of getting used now to things getting light outside around just after 6 o'clock. The sun's coming up by like 6:30. But now, you know, it's going to be a change for a while where the sun isn't going to be getting up till like about 7:20, 7:25.
Oh, that's going to be weird.
So, you know, a lot of people are going to be confused probably next week because now they have to go back to work in the dark. If they usually leave about 6 o'clock or so in the morning, it's going to be pitch dark again. And of course, now the evenings are going to be much different. So, of course, your sunset's going to be at like 7 o'clock almost on Sunday. So it's going to be hard for us to get used to that because now we have to go to bed when it's still light outside. And I know people with pets talk about how they're, you know, like, for example, my grandma said like her cat always wakes her up at like 5 o'clock in the morning. So like when the time changed in the fall, the cat would wake her up at 4 in the morning. Now, I guess now it'll be an hour later since we're springing forward, but.
Oh, that'll be good.
But, you know, even like deer are very active around dawn. And, you know,
my gosh, tell me about it.
So for drivers who have to drive around dawn now, because of course dawn will be a little later, the animals don't know the time changed, but because it will be.
They don't?
What? Say what?
I have to say, when I was on my way to work last week, there were deer just all across, because there's my apartment and then there are these homes like right across the street. There were deer all across people's yards, like a whole herd. I don't even know if that's the right word, but I literally stopped and I just stared, like all these deer. That would have made a delicious dinner, y'all. That would have made a good dinner. But it was just like, and they were big deer, Papa deer, Mama deer, Bambi was there.
Yeah.
It was just insane. So I shudder to think what these deer are going to be like once I leave.
Now you won't see them.
Hopefully, right? Oh
Yeah,
my
I live by
gosh.
ICC there in East Peoria, and it's amazing. Like, I think it was Wednesday morning. It was real foggy out, and there's this whole huge group of deer. They're just crossing the road, and they're just scattered over the lawn. And of course, they're in the
That's so
parking
scary.
lot in front of like the buildings there at the college. I'm thinking, wow, they go to school early. Education.
That's such a dad joke.
It's scary because like you never know when they're gonna come out. They're gonna pop out anywhere, especially in the fog.
Yeah.
It is very beautiful though.
They're cute.
Oh, whatever.
They're pretty. They're beautiful eyes.
I like getting pictures of them.
Yeah, they're cute.
Well, on my we'll move on my plate today. Well, Central Illinois could see some strong storms as part of Severe Weather Preparedness Week. Officials are reminding people to stay alert and to know where to take shelter if storms turn dangerous. Your first defense against severe weather is simple, just knowing the forecast. Of course, I should know the forecast. Jason Marks with Peoria's Emergency Management says that storms are often predicted days in advance, giving people time to prepare, and he recommends having multiple ways to receive alerts, especially overnight when storms can be harder to detect. A NOAA weather radio is one of the most reliable tools to wake people up. If warnings are issued, a tornado warning is issued, people should move to the lowest level of their home or an interior room away from windows. Of course, he also reminds residents that outdoor warning sirens are designed for people outside and should not be relied on as your main alert indoors. And an important reminder too, this weekend, because of the time change, it's a good time to change those batteries in your smoke detector and your NOAA weather radio as well. I know like mine, it plugs into the wall, but of course you have the battery backup. So if you lose power, your NOAA weather radio will still alert you. So you want to make sure it does have that battery backup and put those fresh batteries in there to make sure you stay, of course, alert if there are severe storms. Even like tonight, we could have storms coming through around like 3 or 4 in the morning. I mean, a lot of people are asleep at that time of night.
Not me, that's when I wake up.
Especially on a Saturday morning, or maybe they're just getting home from partying, I don't know. But
Totally.
Like
just,
you, Nathan.
you know, it's not going to be a major outbreak, but it's a good reminder that we are getting into severe weather season. This will be a good time to kind of use as a way to prepare. You know, make sure you have a way and test those those methods of getting those alerts. Make sure those work for you and they wake you up. You know, having the CI Proud to Go weather app. Make sure the wireless emergency alerts are turned on your phone there in your settings, so that you will get those alerts if there is like a tornado warning or a destructive severe storm. So.
Yeah. I mean, I will say a lot of the times the storms wake me up themselves, so I don't necessarily always have to worry about those alerts. However, they're not always that loud. So just to be safe, always so important. But we have our mega question, but we'll get to that after the break, as well as our Jack in the Box office, so do not go anywhere. Welcome back. It is Friday, and why not spend the weekend checking out some great movies at the theater? Our Jack Bozigas shares his reviews on the top movies out right now. Take a look.
Welcome back to Jack in the Box Office. We're heading into a pretty solid early March weekend at the movies, and it looks like Pixar is ready to take the #1 spot. Box Office Pro says Pixar's new original film Hoppers is expected to debut at the top of the box office with an opening weekend between $40 and $50 million. The movie follows a girl who can project her mind into a robotic beaver to communicate with animals. And early reviews are extremely strong, with the film sitting around 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, Pixar originals don't always open as big as their sequels, but if word of mouth is strong, this could be one of those family movies that has really good legs at the box office. Coming in second place, Scream 7. After opening to a franchise best $63.6 million last weekend, the latest installment in the horror series is expected to bring in another $25 to $33 million in its second weekend. The return of Neve Campbell as Sidney Prescott has clearly been a big draw for fans, and the film is expected to eventually pass Scream 6's $108 million domestic total. In third place, there's an interesting new film quietly entering this market this weekend. The Bride, directed by Maggie Gyllenhaal and starring Jessie Buckley and Christian Bale, is a new reimagining of the Bride of Frankenstein story. It's projected to bring in 10 to 15 million. The Bride could be the wild card to watch as it starts its run. Now, as Thomas mentioned at the start of the show, last week we had some technical difficulties with the show and it didn't air. Well, I still recorded my thoughts on Scream 7. So here's my review from last week of the newest installment of the Scream franchise. This one hurts me to say out loud because I am a massive fan of this franchise, but this movie was quite the letdown for me. First off, yes, it's cool and great to see Neve Campbell return as Sidney Prescott, but the movie relies so heavily on nostalgia that it forgets to make me care about the new characters. We spend almost no real time getting to know Sidney's daughter or her friend group, so a lot of the new characters just feel like they're there to get picked off by Ghostface. And when you don't care who's in danger, the whole mystery kind of just loses its bite. Now, I'll be fair, there are some really cool Ghostface moments, but for me, the movie starts to fall apart in the third act, and the reveals just did not land. To me, it feels like this was made just because the studio needed to continue the franchise. So, as painful as it is to say, I'm giving Scream 7 a 4 out of 10. And a week later, my thoughts haven't changed. Well, next week, you can hear my thoughts on Hoppers. Until then, thanks for joining me in the box office. I'm Jack Bozikas, and I'll see you at the movies.
All right, well, we also have our question of the day before we get into this next story. How much time do you guys spend on your phone? This is something we briefly talked about on our morning show today.
Yeah.
But daily, what apps, things like that.
Yeah, so I was looking at my phone. It said I averaged 6 hours and 43 minutes.
A day?
A day. Yeah.
What are you looking at, though?
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, let me take
Facebook
mine
was
out,
the
too.
most used app. Let me click on this here.
Okay.
I have a lot of entertaining people on Facebook, so I will go in there just for laughs because I've got friends who post funny stuff. But
You probably be poking people left and right.
Hey,
I forgot
poke
about
people
that.
too.
Wait, how do I go back to see what apps I used? Okay, let me see.
Oh, my average went up for the day. It was down at 5 hours and 23 minutes earlier this morning. Now it's at 6 hours and 4 minutes, which, mind you, is down 20% from last week.
So Facebook is the big one. Safari, YouTube, photos, 2 hours and 28 minutes.
What are you doing on your photos?
I'm just reminiscing on the past.
I do that, though.
My webcam I've got for my grandma's house, so I can watch the stray cats, and then
How long? How long do you have on
2
that?
hours and 17 minutes.
Nathan.
You should stop. You should stop right there.
Sheridan, what do you look at?
Let's see. Yeah, no. So far today, I have 4 hours and 22 minutes.
I only had 2 hours and something
Okay,
today.
whatever. Don't need to brag. My most used is Pokemon Go.
Oh, boy.
Today, an hour and 56 minutes on the app.
Yep. That sounds about right.
Then I have Facebook, Spotify, messages. TikTok, I only have 10 minutes today. Go me.
Okay.
I'm proud of myself. Instagram, Snapchat are like less than 10 minutes.
Okay.
Facebook, though, hour.
For me, I know it was, the most was YouTube.
Yeah, 20 hours a day for
I
this one.
said that this morning and I was kidding.
Sure. Only gets 4 hours of sleep, the other 20 hours on the phone.
I mainly watch a lot of YouTube. Audible was a big one. Kindle was another one that I use a lot. Man, I'm pretty basic. Yeah, like I don't go out my way to, I mean, I'll go on Facebook here and there, but you know, yeah. So I'd say I'm in between, probably like 6 or 7 hours a day.
Yeah.
Yeah. 6, 7.
I was looking online. It said the average adult spends over 6 hours on their screen a day. So we're actually kind of average, I guess.
I will say, you know, which I don't think was in there, but the amount of times that I go on my email, I check my email.
Yeah, I do
or,
that too.
Like, and not like my work email, but also like my personal email thing. So, or like texting managers, texting our team or whatever. So I don't know why that's not accounted into there. I promise I'm being studious.
Yes.
All right. Let's move on. A new study published in Psychology Today finds left-handed people like Frank have
Who's
a
Frank?
I don't know.
Who's Frank?
That's what it says
What
in the
in the world?
prompter. Frank has a competitive edge when it comes to one-on-one sports like boxing, tennis, and fencing. The advantage stems from what's called the fighting hypothesis. Because only about 10% of the population is left-handed, they are considered rare and harder to predict. Lefties also have more brain control over their dominant hand, leading to faster reaction.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I am not left-handed. So
Are you left-handed, Nathan?
Definitely not right-handed.
Yeah, me too, right-handed.
My dad's left-handed, so.
But I do other things with my left hand, though. That's weird. And I'm like, wait, but aren't I right-handed? But
I feel like I do that too.
Yeah.
But I don't know what. I've
Yeah.
tried writing with my left hand. That is rough.
It's hard.
Yeah.
Really hard.
Really hard.
And don't
Yeah.
they say, like, if you're right-handed, that your right arm will be a little longer than the left arm? I thought I heard that, but maybe I'm crazy. Okay,
Uh-oh.
maybe that's not
yeah,
true.
this one's a little longer there.
You're just stretching it more. Get out of here.
No, it was longer.
Somebody told me that, but
Okay, you just made that up, and you're making us look really dumb on air.
that's what Rose Nyland did on Golden Girls. She's like, this arm's longer than the other one. And
Yeah, okay. Anyways, Wendy's is hiring for a tasty new role. The fast food chain announced it is hiring a chief tasting officer. I would love to do that.
Ooh.
You know what? Nathan loves Wendy's.
yeah.
The new CTO will taste test burgers on camera for, get this, a 6-figure paycheck.
Nice.
Yeah, the company's hosting a contest to find its perfect candidate and has asked applicants to upload a 60-second video explaining why they'd be a good fit for the job. Wendy's encourages applicants to include the chain's branding, food products, and even restaurants in their videos. Interested candidates can upload their videos to Instagram or TikTok with the hashtag Wendy's CTO contest or directly to wendyschiefttastingofficer.com. The contest closes Monday, March 30th, so you have a few weeks to decide if you want to partake.
What a dream.
Nathan, I've never heard anyone say, oh, my favorite fast food joint is Wendy's.
Yeah,
well,
me
never
I
heard of that.
probably have said that before. I mean, I don't know. It's one of my top. I mean, I love their saucy nugs. Have you ever their saucy nugs? Are
Their
so good.
nugs, I will give you that. They easily have the best nuggets out of any other, like even over Chick-fil-A. And tenders goes to Culver's, though.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Have you had them?
Yeah, I have.
I don't
I'm
believe-
not
I
impressed.
don't believe
Their
it for a
baconators
second.
are so good, though.
I have.
Yeah, you always bring up the Baconator.
I love them.
I have never had
gosh.
Wendy's Baconator.
How does your stomach do that? Anyway, in 2024, you cannot miss Shaboozie's hit A Bar song, Tipsy. Now it's getting the remake treatment for a younger audience.
Oh, gosh.
Musician Shaboozie is putting down the booze
Oh,
and teaming
no.
up with kids music brand Kids Bop to create a kid-friendly version of his famous song, transforming the smash hit from a bar song to a bop song.
Oh, God.
This collaboration is
Wow.
the first time Kids Bop has worked directly with an artist to reimagine a family-friendly version of the tune for young listeners. I remember Kids Bop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I loved
Yeah.
it. Back when it was.
So bad.
It used to be good in the 90s, early 2000s, but once you got to like 2004,
Yeah,
it
you
just
can
went
forget it.
downhill.
Yeah.
So bad. Real quick before we go to our break, when I was in gym class in middle school, we had one gym teacher who would play fun, cool new music, and the other gym teacher, who was mine, would play Kids Bop.
I just always would laugh. They're singing Taylor Swift songs, and it's like they're like 8 years old. They don't know what real love is.
Yes, they do,
Yes, they
Nathan.
do. All right, we're going to take a break. We've got your last bite coming up.
Welcome back. As we come to a close, here are your last bites, starting with that joke of the day. What is Irish and sits on a porch?
I already know. I keep accidentally taking a peek.
Think about like
Well, I've been
Irish
taking a
and
peek
like
at
their
that
last
joke.
names has usually an O in it. So
Wait. Huh?
What do you put on your
what do you put
front
on your
lawn, your back lawn, your front lawn, back lawn, whatever?
what kind
I
of
don't have a front lawn or a back lawn. Come on.
what kind of furniture?
Patio.
Patio furniture. Yep.
Okay.
That's what's Irish.
Patio.
sits on a
Oh,
porch.
patio. P-A-D-D-Y.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know how
Love
I
that.
feel about
Well,
that
it
one.
might be a decent day to sit on the patio if it's not raining. We did have a lot of rain this morning, but it's good to see that considering that we're still in that drought. We've got temperatures at 75 today, but more storms possible, especially late tonight. But we're drying out with very nice weather Sunday and Monday.
All right. Yay.
All right, well, be outside while you can. 'cause
Yep.
It's going to
Absolutely.
get a little colder next week. But Nathan, thank you. That is all the time we have this morning.
Have a great day. We'll see you Monday.
Bye.